Hello everybody, my name is Jockey. I am here to talk about Stardust Valkyries. Now, if you are unaware, on this channel I generally just post whatever I feel like at any given time, with pretty much zero to very little editing. I have talked about Stardust a few times in the past, and recently I have been uploading some videos on it. Ever since Ludwig's made a video covering a small portion of the game has had a bit of a resurgence in our community, and I've kind of just fell back in love with it. I mean, this game is just really, really, really beautiful. I think there's just so much to love about it. So I wanted to talk today. I got something very special for you guys. I wanted to talk about the tier list for this game. Now, I did make a tier list video around a year ago. However, this one is going to be a little different because this tier list that you're seeing now was made with the assistance of Leviathan. Now, if you don't know, Leviathan was, I guess still is, one of the most prolific Stardust Valkyries players. You might know them from other games that were a bit more popular, like Rushdown Revolt, Multiverses. They had some pretty substantial wins in those games, and they have been known as almost kind of a little bit of a secret boss for Stardust Valkyries, since they didn't show up to many tournaments, but they would place pretty consistently well. They're pretty well versed in a lot of the cast, and together I asked Leviathan, like, hey, why don't we make a tier list of the game, because I think we're probably the best players. We have a lot of knowledge overall in the game and the characters. I'm the laver, and I think Leviathan does a lot of, like a character guru, just understands the game so well on a deep level. And after some deliberating, we came up with this list. I'm very, very, very happy with how it came out, personally. And I wanted to talk about a lot of the placements here, giving you an overview of the characters, how I think they fit into current meta. Now, some of this is speculated due to just the size of the community, the size of what we do, and like how there haven't been many tournaments recently. But I assure you that, like, both me and Leviathan, we have hundreds of hours in the game. I'm sure, like, almost around, like, collectively, like 800. I'd imagine maybe a little less, maybe give or take. But we have spent a lot of time on this game. And so now I want to share all of the tidbits about probably one of my favorite games ever, and show you why we think the things we think on this tier list. So we're going to start from the very bottom here of the tier list. Sitting at the bottom of the tier list, not even close, is Cassia. So this character is incredibly interesting in the fact that they have a lot of what we call Stardustisms. Like, they have a lot of unique gimmicks that really feel kind of strange. So they have a forward tilt that sends them upwards. They have, notably, their black hole. It's a really weird movement tool, interesting for spacing. Hitting it will, like, give it more of a gravitational pull and also move around. You have, like, a bit of a teleport. You can jump cancel at the beginning, so it's not too committal. So we'll, generally speaking, Cassia falls under a zoner archetype. Zoner set play, I would say. Generally, their big kill move is going to be down tilt. Just kills at, like, a ridiculous percent. It's like 50. Although, if they're struggling to kill otherwise, fair and up tilt are also pretty solid options, just because up tilt is ginormous, a huge, great anti-air option. So, like, positives-wise, she does have a lot of decent things going for her. Like, she has very fast, decent, like, disjointed options that I think are very, very, very strong overall. However, you will notice that, like, some of her moves are, like, very stubby in comparison to some others. She has an amazing projectile here. Her charge version of it happens to be a platform, so if the opponent misses the tech, they can actually, at like medium percents, around 60, 70, they miss the tech, they fall on the platform, that's the stock. So it's a really nice way for Cassie to get stocked. She has a great spring dash when it comes to like just distance. Probably one of the most impressive in the entire game when it comes to the distance. So that's kind of where the positives stop, in my opinion. Not that she's like worthless, but her downsides are pretty severe. We'll start with some of the more small things. So if you don't know, Cassia has this little float that happens after she runs for a bit. It allows her to float off the ground. It gets pretty far, all things considered. But something you'll notice is with Cassia, it can be very difficult to do things out of the float, like mainly grabbing. It messes with grab and shield and stuff, so it can be a little confusing to get used to. It's more of a quirk than anything. It's like a very mild downside, but comparison to her other things, it's like it gets like a lot worse from here. Like mainly, big thing is she can't combo. She has very small combo routings with like not much room to follow up with stuff. She's mainly playing just a lot of neutral, and for a game like Stardust that's so focused on getting these crazy, insane combos, it's not gonna be enough for this game. Frankly, she's not missing like that much. I mean, her jab is really poor. Like her range is really centered across like just a few moves, like up tilt, down tilt, nair, and then she's like completely missing it on like moves like jab. Jabs are so important in this game, and most jabs in this game can be down tilted under, so she'll lose a lot of interactions with that. She's losing up close. She's very poor defensive options rather than her shine, and her shine, all things considered, is like pretty bad. It's better than not having one at all, which we'll talk about very soon, but it's just not great. Overall, I think Leviathan said it best when we were talking about it, that Cassia is the character in Stardust that just doesn't play Stardust Valkyries. She's kind of playing her own little game, and she can set up a lot of strange mini games with, for example, like I was talking about earlier before, like Black Hole. Like, if you don't understand how this move works, it will really catch you off guard, because it's a very quirky move that has like a lot of control over the space. I think she's also just generally hurt by tri-plat. Just platforms in general just really hurt her game plan. It's harder for her to move, harder for her to set play. So yeah, there's really nothing else much I can say like after that. It's just like, I think she has potential to do good, but we need like a guru to like crack her open. I think we need like some sort of like mega genius, but it's just none of us are that genius. It's just unlikely that it's going to happen anytime soon, especially because just Cassia is so difficult to play. So anyways, we'll go move on, and I apologize if this script doesn't make any sense, because guess what? There's no script. I'm just fucking winging it, dude. Like I do with like all the videos. Kind of just want to get this stuff out here, honestly. Sleepy. Next up, we're still in B tier here. So, Sleepy is the newest character added to Stardust. Albeit it's been a little while now. The best way to describe Sleepy, even if it's a little hard to describe her, just archetype, is I guess just an unorthodox all-rounder. She has quite a lot of tools, although they're built in the very strange moves. She has projectiles in her forward tilt as well as her forward air. She has a neutral B that summons a star from above. She has a side B with super armor, which is really, really nice. It's like a good option for recovering, or not recovering. It's okay for recoveries, but it's mainly used for like approaching. It's really hard to combat like the hitbox and all of that. She has a unique movement called skipping, where if you hold up right or up left, she will do a little skip, which is very cool. She does really low to the ground aerials that are like incredibly non-committal, even better than most spring dashes in the game. Her wave dash carries people because it's a platform. It's really weird. This character in general is just really, really strange. That's most of the reason why she's down here, is just she's the newest character, she's unexplored, and she's unorthodox. All of her combos in the Punish game is really obtuse. We've only had a single dedicated player to her, and while that's usually enough for some characters, this was at kind of nearing the end of the lifespan of the tournament scene, or at least the first big tournament scene that we've had. So unfortunately, with Sleepy, she didn't really get a lot of attention, which I think is kind of unfortunate because she's such an interesting character with a lot of Stardust quirks, Stardustisms, I think, that are just really, really, really fun. You know, her up B reverts, her gravity, all that. Just really cool stuff. But the big thing that I do still think, even if she's discovered, this is why she will never move past like B+, is she doesn't have a shine. She doesn't have an equivalent to a shine. She doesn't have a move that can be even remotely used as a shine. Instead of a down B shine, she has Arrest. Now, this not only is a Jigglypuff Rest, as implied by the name, right? Kills decently early. The Z's are also projectiles, albeit really, really, really poor ranged ones, but they do hit very, very hard, giving Sleepy some sort of coverage if she misses. Additionally, while it is not much, Sleepy also heals from this. It's not really important and more of a fun little gimmick, if anything. Ultimately, this move is just not very good, and the fact that it replaces Shine is basically means that she has some of the worst defense in the entire game. And that's like a majority of the reason why she's down here. That and just, you know, unexplored character. And I'm sure that will change, you know. I mean, we have Schnitzel dashing, and like, as you can see there, it's a little hard to do, but having like a wave dash that's even better with an active hitbox that you can grab people with is pretty awesome and honestly quite good. I really think this character is gonna move up in the tier list eventually. The fact of the matter is we just don't know enough about them. Now this next character is the last character in B tier, and I do think we do know a lot about this character. In fact, they've been seen in tournament probably the most out of any of the bottom tiers, and that's going to be Tycho. So Tycho's had a lot of changes throughout the lifespan of this game, but the best way I can describe Tycho is a hit-and-run character. He is incredibly fast on the ground, pretty decently fast in the air without his up B, but with his up B, he gets quite a lot of control over just where he goes, what he does. He can wave dash out of it. So great movement. He has pretty great pokes and micro-spacing tools. Jockey hopping, the technique that I ended up developing, is like a reverse forward spring dash, and its best usage, I would say, is probably on Tycho. Tycho is a great spring dash already, so putting it on backwards with like his best move being fair is just a wall of pain move that frankly is going to invalidate a lot of approaches. He spaces under down airs, not down airs, down tilts. Spaces under down tilts like Vesper down tilt, spaces under like a lot of different moves with this. His combo game is fine, albeit incredibly one-dimensional for the most part, mostly revolving around chaining as many fares as possible until you drop the combo. He has a really difficult time killing. I would say is probably his biggest weakness. If he had just like better kill options, he would be a lot better. Obviously, stars are his biggest positive. Being able to apply shield pressure like no tomorrow. This is the best shield pressure in the entire game, except it's resource dependent. And it is affected by UPR, meaning that if Tycho gets hit ever and he has stars, he no longer has any of them. He has a pseudo-infinite. If you miss the first tech, this is a true combo now until he runs out of stars. And as you can see, that actually does pretty good damage. If the opponent gets hit by that, it is a huge buff for Tycho. Although, like I said, frankly, Tycho just really struggles to kill, and his combo game is really one-dimensional. You know exactly what he's trying to do. His fair. In this move, it's frame 3, but it's still very reactable, and it's not that big compared to some of the other top-tier moves in the game. Like, it's just something that you can really work around if you really want to, which forces Tycho to use moves like F-tilt and up-tilt, which are, while not immediately committal, do tend to kind of get punished when you throw them out. So I think Tycho is in the territory of, I think he could probably still do well in tournament. As someone who, I think I'm probably the best Tycho right now, I think he could still do pretty well, but overall, it's just, he's gonna struggle a lot due to lack of kill power. You know exactly what he's trying to do. You could definitely thin out an opponent's patience if you're willing to just sit, wait out, be as boring as possible with like up B. I mean, he's the one person who can consistently abuse anti-pineapple measure by going beneath stages and being able to go back and forth between them. And this is very helpful for his game plan of just like trying to run away, trying to get out of the opponent's hair. But unfortunately, his game plan just really falls apart against characters with either good mobility or good spikes that are not going to kill them if they're trying to swat Tycho out of the air. If Tycho had a better up-B hitbox, this might not be the case, but ultimately I just think he's kind of lackluster in some important areas. So now we're out of B tier, and we're moving into B+, and we're going to move to my main. I think the guardian of B+ tier in the sense that you can't really... this character beats everyone below them, is Atlas. Atlas is probably one of my favorite fighting game characters ever. This character is so freaking cool. They're pretty expressive in the combo game. It is definitely one of their best things about them is that their combo game is absolutely ridiculous. If you're willing to put the time into learning how it works and getting the execution right, you can consistently get like 50 to 60% damage, and it's amazing. On top of this, as you can see, Atlas has just amazing shield pressure. They're really great at shield poking with their up B. Up B is just a glue move. It's good for everything. There is not a single thing up B does that just cannot be done by any other character in the game. Or that cannot be... There's not a single thing that up B does that any other move can't, for the most part. I mean, it kills by gimping.
It does ridiculous damage. I'm talking like characters worth of damage on one combo. Like 30% from one move is just obscene. It's hard to really combat. It's hard to get off me tool. It's decently big. It's just a tool that's really helps Atlas a lot in neutral. Additionally, Atlas's crouch is deceptively crazy in this game. This move ruins a lot of characters' game plans because while Atlas is crouching, not only are they affected by crouch canceling, but additionally, some characters' grabs just do not work on a crouching Atlas. Darawan, Zanaya, I think Stinky, and a lot of those characters, like some of those characters that they don't work on, those are like top tier characters. It's something that's like a pretty big hit in Atlas's favor. Additionally, because Atlas's up B can be canceled via an air dodge or a jump, Atlas can use the fact that all up Bs are invincible to projectiles to get rid of stuff like Selmani Orb, Castor Notes, Stinky Flies, giving Atlas, despite them not having a projectile, a great way to deal with projectiles. Additionally, you know, having forward tilt, this option doesn't look like it. It's pretty disjointed. It destroys projectiles. It destroys just a lot of approaches. It's great at snuffing out like Darawan Dare and options like that that aren't too disjointed. Albeit it's a little committal if you miss. So Atlas has lots of great pokes. Now all this being said, like Atlas seems like a pretty good character, but they lack in a few things that really kind of sets them down a bit. Mostly, as you're kind of seeing, they move like a fucking rock. This character has horrific movement for the most part. And obviously, if they get in, right, this is like amazing damage and all that. But notice, like, if I hit like here, my combo is limited. I don't have, like, my options get significantly lessened and are way more reactable with DI. And I think the biggest thing that really sets Atlas down is Atlas is probably the most stage-dependent character in this entire game. I think if you take Atlas to Mars, they become maybe the worst character in the entire game because they lose access to Buster looping. They lose access to platforms protecting them from certain aerials. They lose access to just so much resources. I mean, I cannot understate how important, like, being able to cancel your Buster is. This move becomes so much more insane. Even if you're not doing Buster loops with it, it's just incredible to get this off with an up B. It often leads into kills, just straight up from you hit a Buster at 40, or, you know, opponent doesn't know how to DI the Buster loop here. Even though it's really hard, you can get, like, that was 80% off of me just getting, like, Spring Dash Buster, and then I get this over and over and over again. I hit this fair. They DI that wrong right there, they're already dead. So losing platforms, really bad. Really bad. I really cannot understate that enough. Atlas is basically just a character of incredibly inconsistent performance just because of the fact that they're so much worse on Mars. If Venus was the only stage in the game, I'd move them up like 2 slots. But because of that alone, it really messes with them. One more thing I don't think is very good about them is that for some characters, their up B is very exploitable off stage, but that's more of a character-specific issue that's really only seen in, like, the top 3 to 5 characters, so it's not too big of a deal. Overall, I think Atlas is the line of character that, like, this is the point where I'm like, I'm pretty certain that if you put in enough effort at the highest level of play, Atlas can still win. It's just going to be really hard for you. I mean, Atlas is just
working their ass off. They're putting in 10 times the effort for 3 times the output, which is still pretty great, considering, you know, they have the potential to one-tap characters, but it's all about placement, it's all about execution. Spacing, so important in this game. And with someone like Atlas, who also cares so much about spacing, but just doesn't have the movement to do it all of the time. It just really hurts them. From here, we're gonna move on to B plus here. Only has one more character in it, and that is going to be Stinky. We were debating putting Stinky actually below Atlas, but I do think Stinky is above here just because they're substantially less dependent on stages, and they perform actually pretty well into the top tiers of this game. Like some of the top tiers they perform all right against, and that's mainly due to a wonderful tool, and that would be flies here. So how flies work is they are in a dormant state. They follow you around. They'll last for a timer before disappearing. They're also affected by UPR, so you get hit, all your flies are gone. But if you hit the move with any stink move or anything with green on it, they're gonna start chasing the opponent. This is the best edge guard probably in the entire game, or it's tied for it. It's pretty fucking incredible. Just because of the fact that Stinky is completely safe and like it's completely non-committal to use. I mean, you know, if you have like, let's say like 7 flies or something, and then you hit the opponent with like a fair, get them off stage, like, okay, like even if they tried making it back there, they're gonna have a bunch of flies on their ass. It's not gonna be a fun time for them. A lot of characters just get completely invalidated by fly, which is why I think they're above a good chunk of the cast. They also have some like secret bullshit moves that are like, they don't look like anything bad, but like, oh my god, this down air is so good. This move does whatever the fuck it wants. You get either hit by the splash attack that sends you like fucking like crazy off stage, you get hit directly, and this is like pretty good for just it racks up some damage, but it also is just good for like comboing, sends at just really favorable angles. Stinky's got some great normals in general, like fair. This move's really fast. Fly stink, which is really nice. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck for that. Down tilt is just a great sweeping move that sends just a favorable angle. Her grab is big, but it's really slow. It's pretty bad. It's unfortunate, but if she does get the grab, she does get some really great benefits. Getting like a whole stack of flies, like this is just, I think that's like 6 flies. So this basically grab equals instantaneous advantage point. Her low points without flies, she moves down the tier list way down. This character really struggles without flies because she lacks really big disjoints. I mean, as you can see, a lot of her moves, these would be fine in another fighting game. In this game, they're incredibly modest. These hitboxes are just very modest overall, and they don't work in Stinky's favor most of the time. Beyond that, I don't really have too much else to say about her, rather than she's got really good back air, just decent combo game, but it's pretty resource dependent on the flies. That's just the big thing. You gotta have flies. If you don't have flies, what are you doing? She's got good use of the spring dash. I guess that's really all I have to say. Yeah, alright, moving on. So now we're officially in like the midway point here with the tier list. We're moving up to A.
And I think this is like the humble mid tier of the game. This is the most humble mid tier you can play, and that's Irie. Irie is the closest thing you'll find to a Spacey in this game. Although calling them a Spacey would be kind of disingenuous. I think laser is like a big crux of their game plan. This thing is ginormous. It doesn't travel very far, but it's quite big. Leads into her fantastic grabs. She actually shares quite a few similarities with Stinky in terms of moveset. You got like, the sex kick, got like a quick-ish forward air, got the sweep. But she generally is really dependent on hitting her back air to kill. I think Irie laser is just so strong that it kind of is just the main reason why she's here. This and like the recovery, really great for like you can't do anything about this most of the time. I mean, with Shine, this allows you to just get it back. You Shine stall in the air, and then you're basically almost ready for the next one. And this leads to some pretty boring situations, albeit, but it is very, very strong. Side B into neutral B, really, really nice. Great for recovering, good for covering options as well. Side B neutral special to the stage. Irie, beyond that, like, her combo game's fine. Suffers from a lot of the same issues as Stinky, although obviously she's not very resource reliant, which is great. I think her moves are stubby, but are definitely made up by the fact that she has neutral B. It's more so that everyone below Irie, for the most part, they can't deal with laser. This is the gatekeep character of like the mid tier. If you can deal with laser, you're above Irie. You're into mid tier if you can deal with laser. If you can't deal with laser, you're probably not that good of a character, generally speaking. Just the CL ceiling is very, very high for this game. The power level is really high. So Irie generally is just really good at some matchups, and then really struggles to play into the higher tier characters. And so this is a contentious choice to put Minkata as the next point, as the actual successful set plays owner of the game. But after talking with Leviathan a lot, you know, he's played quite a bit of Minkata, all things considered. Mostly when she came out, but even after that, he went into tournaments, played well after the nerfs and everything. And I was convinced for a while they were like Atlas tier, even up until very, very recently. But I think overall, Minkata is a pretty great character who is what I would describe as polarizing. If you've ever played Guilty Gear Plus R, she's the justice of this game. She has phenomenal matchups with some of the low and mid-tier characters, and then with some characters, fucking mollywop her. It's really, really weird, because I don't think there's any character in the game who has such a big matchup chart difference. So first thing you'll notice when playing Minkata, like, she has a lot of set play tools, lots of ginormous aerials that are way too fast. You know, this is frame 6. This is the same amount of time Irie forward air comes out. This move is the same speed as Irie forward air, and it is same speed as Irie forward air, and yet at the same time it's like 10 times the size of it. So it's a ridiculous aerial. A lot of her aerials are really ridiculous. Instead of Shine, she has Shine Mines. This plays into her weakness, but also her strength. Shine Mines are such a strong set play tool.
They last for a really long time. Setting up wall allows her to basically turtle for the match, you know. If you're willing to be patient, set up webs correctly, make sure you're getting all of your spacing right and not committing to any options, you can really control a lot of the neutral. She has a great advantage state with lots of damaging combo routes. She even has a chain grab. I think she's the only character in the game with a chain grab. A pretty solid one at that. Doesn't hit for too much damage, but you can do it for a pretty considerable amount of time. She definitely benefits more on the stage of like less platforms. It's good because it means she can really control more space and get more out of her combos, but overall she doesn't care that much. Her up B acts as a pseudo shine. This thing is ginormous, and in some ways is actually better than a normal shine, so it sends at a great angle for Minkata to follow up and stuff. You'll see here that I can wave dash to the ground afterwards. Oh my gosh. I can wave dash to the ground afterwards. I can do... Can you tell this is character? But yeah, you can wave dash. It sends out a favorable angle for some combos at higher percents. Although, admittedly, you might just have to believe me. Oh, there we go, yeah. So, like, you can hit into forward air with it. And this is, like, her main thing. She does, like, DJCs. And at this point, you're taking, like, so much damage from this. Like, it's gonna be really hard to escape. I mean, even with good DI, the Minkata has ample time to react and set up stuff. So yeah, up B in that regard, very, very good offensively. But as you'll notice, this is really, really bad at if it misses. Like, she's stuck in this whole animation. Like, I'm mashing out. That's the quickest I can get out of the animation. So if she misses, she's eating it. So while it's usually bigger than a shine, she really has that big trade-off there. Trade combo. You trade defense for combo potential. So big thing that I think makes her not go any higher. And like I think she'll probably stay this way, is her defense is atrocious. It's the worst in the game. Unlike Stinky, it's not really like, oh, if you have a resource or not. It's more so if the opponent gets in one time, you hold neutral so well, but if the opponent gets in once, just once, you're probably dead. Even on the lower tier characters, even on someone like Tycho, he could mess up your day. Tycho usually takes 3 or 4 interactions to do things with, but even with Minkata, he needs substantially less interactions to win. She just gets completely fucked by a lot of the casts, defensively speaking. Her recovery is really bad. You could do stuff with it. There's lots of mix-ups, but it's very difficult, and honestly, it's just, once you learn it, it's not too hard to deal with, and so she's a character that basically needs to play perfectly, and if you play perfectly, you're fine. Like, yeah, you will never be in any danger if you just never let the opponent in. But obviously that's not going to happen, especially with some of the higher tier characters having great poking options that go through walls really easily and rid her of like a lot of her resources like shine lines. So she's just very polarizing. Fucks up like Atlas, unless Atlas ever gets close, then she's dead in one interaction. She's one of the only characters in the entire game that she can't do anything about, like, command grabs. Her up B
despite what it says, is actually too slow. I don't think the up B hitbox comes out fast enough to deal with Atlas command grabs. So if you get put down in a hard knockdown situation, I unironically think you're just eating it. And on a stage with platforms that's basically instantaneous death, since Buster looping becomes substantially easier, and even if you drop it, she's so big that you can just do whatever you want after that. And that's the case with so many characters. It's like that with Caster, it's like that with Vesper, it's like that with characters all around the tier list, just sprinkled in. And she just has some of these matchups where she's just so dominating. She will absolutely she'll actually absolutely petrify people like Irie or Stinky, who just lack a lot of projectiles that can deal with webs and stuff. They lack a lot of good pokes and range. I think that Minkata's probably going to stay here for a very long time. I don't see her moving. We're getting to the top 5 now. And so the top 5, I would say, while the next 2 characters are in A tier right along Minkata and Irie, I think they are a bit better. These are like the high tier characters. Minkata, Irie, I would say, is like a mid tier, but it's not too much of a gap. Just considerable enough to be a little noticeable. Arguably, you make a second tier for it. So, next up, we have Castor. Castor is a very neutral, focused, well-rounded character. He has lots of great poking options that allow him to really box at the opponent. His combo game is pretty phenomenal, albeit a bit shorter than like a lot of the routes for some of the high tier characters. Still quite good, all things considered. It's really dependent on opponent DI. But you can really do a lot with Castor, especially with his projectile, his note. This thing is a beast on offense and defense. Just throw it out every single chance you get, really. It's one of the reasons why I argue that this game has just real unfiltered Okizeme, because I knock you down to the ground and now you have to guess with orb. So like even at 0, like I can set up stuff where I make it to where you have to either figure out how to deal with orb and me at the same time. You just have to try and beat the shield pressure, make sure I don't break through. But Castor, his shield pressure is pretty great. It's pretty similar to like Atlas in terms of like execution. But it's a little more tricky to get the spacing on, as you can see here. But even then, like I said, like you have no... it allows you to mix up so much easier because you can go in ready to attack and then try and mix up with grabs. And his grabs are quite phenomenal. Up throw is great. I think down throw is a really good option for just quick knockdowns. It's hard to react to. It does okay damage. And it also, you know, obviously kills. Back throw can just lead to a good get off me thing, get off the stage. So overall, this is the point in the tier list where I think characters stop having weaknesses. And what I mean by that is, like, obviously they still have weakness, but everyone else on the tier list up until this point has a very defined, very obvious weakness. I can't say that for literally anyone else. I think Castor, really all he's missing is like his moves aren't bigger. His moves are already pretty great. He's got good movement. I think his moves could be a little bigger rather than up B, but if up B was a better recovery, like he'd be up there. This character used to be even stronger, and he was like objectively top 1 just because of how strong his up B was as just a reversal option, and it combo option, an everything option. And it's still really good as a reversal. It's actually, in a lot of ways, me and Lev compared Caster to basically just the cooler Irie, in the sense that while their game plans are different, they share a lot of tools where it's like, Caster Note is basically just Irie Laser, but it's substantially more, it's substantially less interactable, and it's substantially more oppressive in, like, different remarks. Like, I think it's just, really, really evil projectile, and he just has some really small minor weaknesses. I really don't think there's much you could do to, like, make an argument for him, like, being lower on this tier list. This is like, he's pretty hard set on this 5th spot. I think really leaning into the top 5, very strong. I think probably one of my favorite characters to watch. I think all of the top characters in this game are fucking awesome, if I'm being honest, except for the next character on this tier list, Zanaya. 2 words: dislikes overthinking. This character, as her bio implies, is kind of an Unga Bunga rushdown sortie. She's got kind of a similar range to Caster, but she has forward tilt. This move, absolutely disgusting. It is just it's really hard to combat. You can perfect shield it, and it has a special whiff animation, but if you don't perfect shield it, good luck doing anything against it. It's going to be very, very difficult unless you are a top tier character. I think she plays all right into the top tiers, and she definitely boxes out a lot of characters below her. She has almost Dara-like spiking pressure, which we'll talk about soon with Dara 1, but this projectile here, very small. If you hit it off stage, your opponent is dead. It doesn't matter the percent, it doesn't matter anything. You hit that projectile off stage, your opponent is dead. You press down there, your opponent is dead, you recover back to stage. She's the only character in the game with a completely non-committal down air. This thing is ridiculously fast. There's no commitment to just throwing this off stage. Like, one jump is enough for her to just do it 2 times. I think even 3 if you're really quick with it, but it's oppressive. This character frustrates a lot of newcomers, but also brings in a lot of newcomers as being very easy to pick up, and lacking a distinct weakness. I think the only really bad thing I can say about her is that her grab is ass. This thing's really slow. It's not as slow as Stinky, but it's bad. She's got some okay throws, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much. She doesn't get like super a lot off of this, although her up throw is honestly quite nice, so it's a little unfortunate, but you know, she honestly doesn't need it. I think that's really it with Zanaya, rather than yeah, she's gonna kill everyone else on the tier list that isn't above her, and maybe not Caster. Minkata and a couple other characters do play alright into her, but she is so good at getting up in your face, up close and personal. She does actually have the trade-off of, if you like Rushdown but you don't want to play Dara, she does have a bit more range than Dara, generally speaking. She gets so much off of straight hits that it's just insane. We are finally in the top 3, and this is the S tier of the game. Some of the strongest characters I've ever seen in any fighting games, and the reason why it's only these 3 characters in S tier is because everyone below this tier list doesn't have an argument to be made to be top 1. Any 3 of these characters could be top 1, while this tier list is, is ordered. I think me and Leviathan agree that, like, it's like a fraction of a percent better than, like, the other when it comes to these top 3 characters. And you could really convince me anyway, like that, like one of these characters is the best. And so we're going to start off with Vesper. So basically no one's surprised. This is the crowd pleaser character with a sword so big that you can stand on it. Despite how big her sword is, if you think she would be slow, you would be partially wrong. She might have some slow moves like Nair. While its startup is kind of slow, it's ginormous. But moves like her Fair come out on frame 2. This move's ridiculous. It's huge. It starts into all of her combos, and she can do Ken combo with it. If you're not familiar with melee, that is forward air into down air, and this is this down air kills so many people off stage. It's so safe. You invalidate so many recoveries with this move. The fact that that move merely exists makes winning against this character, as some other characters, basically nigh impossible. Her neutral special, the Leviathan Dash. This is why she's top tier. This move right here. Nothing else. Nothing else compares to this move. This move has 0 at landing lag. If you grounded version is terrible. Don't use that one. It's not good. It's very committal. It's fast, but it's just not worth it. This is essentially what you're going to be doing a lot of the time in neutral, rather than like spacing in some fairs. If you hit this move, you can essentially cancel whatever you want into it. It's ridiculous how strong this is. The hitbox is great. There's nothing about it that's you're really gonna want from it more. I think it covers everything else that Vesper doesn't do. While I'm not a Vesper player, I can assure you that her combo game is devastating, and oftentimes Vesper players, you know, experts at spacing, if they space correctly and they get a clean hit on you, you're dead. Doesn't matter the percent. You just die. And that's kind of why I think neutral's so important in this game, because sometimes neutral snaps in an instant, but other times neutral is very methodical. You know, no one wants to commit to anything, and that's really the case at like the highest of level here with like Vesper. Vesper really doesn't want to commit to anything, and because of neutral special, she doesn't have to commit to anything. She doesn't have to commit to any sort of move rather than neutral special or fair in the air, and it covers so many options. And on the ground, she still has some amazing options. They're slow, but this move covers the entire upper platform around her, to the left and right of her, above her, and above the platform, like by a considerable amount. Like this invalidates a lot of options of like trying to fight her. Her sword platform, while originally at first might feel like it is completely worthless, you can set up situations where the opponent would have to tech on it, and obviously they're going to miss the tech sometimes because no one thinks about teching the sword. But it is important because otherwise you can get gimped into dying. For example, down tilt, you guys don't know, after the hitbox comes out, this is a platform. So she hits you off the right way, you land on that platform, you miss the tech, you're tumbling down for a good second. She down airs you, you die. She hits forward air off stage, you probably get hit by down air after you die. Well, I guess bad things, grounded options kind of slow. Down special's really good, but you know, as like this mid-range swordy character, she is like a very, very aggressive mid-ranger, admittedly. She's decently fast for the amount of range you're getting. It's definitely worth the trade-off of speed on the ground. But like I said, most of the time you're gonna be in the air, and if you're not in the air, you always have the Heartbreaker. You always have down B. And this move sends perfectly offwards for you to get whatever silly little combos, whatever little extensions you want to get. And so I just think it's
you know, she's a brutal character, and it's probably why she's the most iconic character in the game. So next on the tier list is Selmani, the second best character in the game in my opinion. So this character is similar to Vesper, kind of a mid-ranger, although she definitely falls into the more passive, methodical side of things. While Vesper represents the anger and wrath of a, I don't know, 20-something-year-old playing Stardust Valkyries at 3 a.m. Selmani is like, I am Zen, I'm willing to wait as long as I want to get whatever combo I need to kill you in just like 2 interactions. Orb helps this so much. This projectile gravitates around you and you get basically limitless control. It is hard, but once you learn how to control it and hit the projectile well, its potential is limitless. It stays on shield, so essentially this move allows you to be safe on shield and make their combo yours. It's ridiculous. Her moves are really big. Although she has some that are kind of little innocuous, like forward air doesn't look that good, but it is a killer combo tool. Her grab is ridiculous. Even if it's a little slow on miss, her throws off of it are really strong. She has one that sends you forwards, one that sends you back like that, and both of them kill, but you can't DI them the same way. So, it's a really confusing manner. Her down special is ridiculous. This move, you do whatever the fuck you want out of it. No one can stop you, really. And she has a billion setups to basically do her big kill move, which is not. This move kills so early. It's basically Sleepy Down special, except it's really good. Due to her being the only character in the game with a triple jump, she can actually hit it 3 times in a row, hit the Albert on them. And that kills even earlier. It means that her setups, if done right, basically kill off 1 or 2 interactions. Although, like I said, she does not mind waiting at all for her turn to play the game. Like, you are free to wait as long as you need, because you really dominate a lot of the neutral game. A big reason why I think she's so high up is just because with some of the really oppressive rushdown characters like Zanaya and Darawan, and someone that can play rushdown very well, like Castor, she is the control. She is the hand that tells you that it's time to stop doing your game plan. It's my turn to play the game. You're playing by my rules. And I think she really has, rather than like some of her moves being some committal and she's a little slow, like a lot of this is mitigated by Orb, and so it's kind of hard to do anything against her with some of the lower tier characters, just because big hitboxes, great combo game, probably one of the best combo game, some of the best combo game. It's like Atlas potential, but you have so much more range. And the execution is much less, although most characters in this game are very demanding. Selmani, very similarly to Vesper, is very demanding on spacing, though. If you are bad at spacing, you will die, you will not win the match. It's really important to make sure you space everything correctly, to kind of control the pace of the game. So, with all of that being said with Selmani, we are left with one character as our top one, and while I do think there are cases to be made about the other two that I said are in S tier, I think both me and Leviathan agree in this very moment, Darawan is objectively the best character in Stardust Valkyries, and I can't see this changing. This character is a war crime.
So interestingly, compared to a lot of the characters in the top 5, she actually has very poor range. Like these moves are like great, fast, but the range isn't the best. But it doesn't matter because her speed is so great. She's got her jab that combos into itself. Her pressure is unrelenting. You can do shines. This black hole shine kills so early if you're able to multi-shine it well. And she's got like knee. If you DI that wrong, you die at an obscene percent. Neutral special, if you miss it, it's bad, but if you hit it, you can cancel it, and it doesn't even cost jump, so you can do like this and the, I don't fucking know, like shine, and then jump cancel the shine into back into that, into the back air. She has so many quick little strings that you can do. And then, oh my god, her edge guarding is just disgusting. She not only has what I would consider probably the best recovery in the game, with this side B just being able to be spammed to high health, but if you ever get hit by this up B off stage, you're probably dying. It's the angle it sends at is incredibly brutal, and I think it's going to be really, really difficult for literally almost any character in the game to edgeguard her, and if you try, it's possible you just get you just die off of it. So her defense isn't the best in the world, but it's very solid. It's fine. It's very serviceable. Her disadvantage is really hard to capitalize on. Her advantage state is completely overwhelming, and she is one of the only characters in the game that I can really confidently say that you can pretty like with some minimal effort kill in like 1 or 2 interactions. With the simplest of combos like I'm doing here, you can get 30 to 40%. Then all you need to do is hit one of her giant fucking, giant fucking heavy hitter moves. Not giant, but like they hit very far. Like knee, you can do forward tilt, you can do down tilt. And all of these work. She's got a great dive kick. She's got just great moves in general, all around. I don't think there's a single move in her kit I think is entirely bad. Her up air, probably her worst move in her kit. This move, it's small, it's slow, but you can combo into it, and if you hit it, it kills them. Just like instantaneous death off stage. It's the strongest spike in the entire game. It doesn't care about percent. It sends straight down. No world in which you tech it most of the time. She doesn't even need it. That's the funniest part about it. I think she doesn't even need it. She has so many other tools. She has back air for taking you off stage. She has forward tilt. She has jab. This is the best neutral tool. She doesn't give a shit about spacing. She doesn't care about the rule of spacing in Stardust. And if all of this wasn't enough to convince you, while it would be banned in tournaments, Darawan does have an infinite. I could not perform it. I tried practicing before this recording. Essentially, according to Leviathan, because he did show me, you can do down special into up B, and then wave land onto the ground while drifting to get another down B, and basically loop that indefinitely, because up B has so much hit lag that you can you see how much of a pause you get there to react out of that. It's really, really strong. So that kills everyone in the game at after maybe 8 repetitions. So that, if it was legal, would pretty much undisputedly top 1 SS tier. I think removing that, she's still probably the best character in the game. Her only true weakness, I think, is that she has stubby normals. She will theoretically lose a lot of trades with characters like Vesper or Salmani, or even characters that have kind of middling disjoints like Castor or Atlas. But for the most part, she makes this game her bitch, and it's gonna be tough for me to really feel like there's a world where this character goes down anywhere below the top 3, even with some changes. I think you'd need to. She's just so fundamentally good. She plays Stardust so well because of the fact that she doesn't care about spacing as much as anyone else. She really can do whatever she wants, for the most part. And so, with all of that said, we're done. That is the whole tier list. Here it is again, in its entirety here. So, it's been great coming back to Stardust, and I do want to say, I apologize if this is a little unprofessional or kind of scrambled, because honestly, this is just me rambling a bit to myself. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there for anyone who was really interested in the intricacies of Stardust meta. I think all of these characters still have room to grow, even Atlas, which I have spent probably 200 hours in the training room with. I still discover new things with this game. I still discover new mechanics. This game is amazing, and I think you should play it. And I think we're coming into a new era of Stardust where people are going to want more Kusage plat fighters, and this is the Kusage plat fighter. There is no game that plays as crazy as this. You will never find a game like this. You will never play a game like this. It is a one-of-a-kind experience that I think I will never have ever again in my life. In the comment section of this video, I'll probably be posting the Discord server and the game link if you're interested. Thank you guys for watching, if you've made it to the end here, or maybe you just clicked the start of the video, the end of the video for the tier list. I don't really fucking care. This is here for the people who are okay with me rambling a bit. So with all that said, I want to let you guys know that I am planning to make a bit more Stardust content after this. The one thing I can guarantee you guys is that yes, I'm hosting a tournament soon, and I am going to be uploading a 1st to 10 with me and Levithan, and I am going to do some commentary over it, trying to give a little more insight into the top level play of Stardust Valkyries. And if you guys are interested in that, I hope you stay tuned. Weird outro, went on for a while, but hey, that's how life is, right? I'll see you guys later.